Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another audio commentary done by Luminous, and today I'm covering MPGL Season 8, MVP Phoenix versus Fnatic. So MPGL is a tournament that happened this past weekend, so it's already over. I do plan to cover the rest of the tournament in the replay, starting in the lower brackets semifinals between Phoenix and Fnatic. It's a best of one series, and loser is out. The cool thing about this tournament is that it's the first LAN tournament that happened since TI 6 with all the C teams, the top C teams. So it's actually a good look at some of the new rosters. And speaking of new rosters, let's actually talk about that. Fnatic playing on the Radiant side got themselves Mushi in Ohio, which is from the old Fnatic, and then they got themselves Demon, AU, and Raven. So Portland. From the other C teams. Pretty excited for this squad. Mushi back into the mid position, which it's something that he's been, I don't want to say struggling with, but it's been a while since Mushi played mid because he's kind of been tossed into the carry. He's been playing mid. He's been playing support. Well, glad to see him back in mid because that's a position I always thought he belonged to, and he's been playing the other position to like help out team, whatever the reason may be. I'm glad to see him back in mid. It's like how Burning Reyna's back on playing carry. It's like it's the position that you're best known for. So I'm happy to see that. Meanwhile, MVP Phoenix, they got themselves a couple of new players as well. Velo is the only new player, as all of these previous players have wore the MVP Phoenix tag at one point or another. They got QO, most likely the mid player. Febby, who used to play support, now plays carry. So not exactly his most comfort role, but has to kind of switch to cope with the team. Dubu, the roaming support player, alongside Risen, who's also the support. And I believe Velo is going to be the offlaner, although that could change depending. I mean, these are new rosters, essentially. So that can change depending on how things go. So all right, let's talk about the draft. We got the MVP Phoenix squad, who essentially likes to run at you and get kills. So heroes like Timbersaw and Bounty Hunter really does well on that aspect. And then you got the big AoE crowd control. The way that MVP likes to take fights, they are very good at running away and turning in a precise moment and turning tide of the team fight. And having like a Warlock ultimate combined with Upheaval and Faceless Void, very good for things like that. So we do move over to the Fnatic side, who has quite a bit of crowd control. Elder Titan and Slaughter, great initiation, great protecting teammates as well. Lifesteal pretty good as a core in this game, being able to run away from most of these heroes. One thing I am not sold with is the Tinker pick. I think Tinker is a good hero if the other team is very immobile. I mean, Clockwork as well as Storm is traditionally seen as the Tinker counter. And yes, MVP Phoenix does not have those two heroes. But I think Tinker, he does worse when everybody runs very fast and has the ability to run at you very fast. Which, if you look at what MVP Phoenix has got, they got Timber Chain, they got Track Vision and Mobility, they got Time Walk, and of course they got the Rock to find the Tinker as well. So I'm not sold on the Tinker pick, although Mushi is going to be playing it, so we'll see how it goes. Both of these teams does a lot better running at the enemy team, but MVP Phoenix has what it takes to actually hold their ground as well with the Warlock pick as well. Of course, if you guys haven't really been watching MVP Phoenix in the past, Warlock has kind of been their go-to hero. They played it as a core with March back in the day in the mid position, and of course they also played it back as a support quite a lot as well. So we'll see what it's going to be played as. Right now, I believe Timbersaw is going to be the mid player. QO is very good on the hero, and the matchup between Tinker, I believe it is Tinker favored. Although Timbersaw with like 2 points into reactive armor should be able to farm quite easily. Although he actually can get killed quite easily as well. All right, the last pick, Vengeful Spirit, makes sense. Gives you a way out of the Chronosphere. Gives you a little bit of mobility yourself, especially in fights, protecting that Tinker. Ooh, and we got the Spectre final pick. So that's going to be the carry. We're going to have a Warlock support and lane. Faces Void in the off lane, Risen, Timbersaw in the mid, and then you got Dubu most likely playing the Bounty with Risen on the Warlock. So now you got multiple ways to actually get close to the Tinker. So I'm not feeling this Tinker pick. Well, we'll see if it's going to work out here. And then we could introduce who is playing what. AU playing the Elder Titan. Ohio on the Slaughter. I believe Ohio is still the offlane player. Raven on the carry Lifestealer. We got Mushi on Tinker. And then we got Demon playing the support Vengeful Spirit. Velo the offlane player as imagined. Dubu playing the Bounty. Alright, everything makes sense here. I've been told this is actually one of the best games in the tournament. So I'm looking forward to it. And of course this is the best one. So loser goes home. I also plan to cast the rest of the tournament in a future time. So I guess if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I guess you could subscribe for the rest of the games. If you are, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Let's actually skip through the rest of this draft. Not exactly sure. Is the game paused here? The game seems to be paused. Yeah, the game is just paused in the pick phase. I didn't even know you could do that. Oh geez, this is a very long pause. Good thing that we're AXing through this. In terms of the draft, I like MVP Phoenix draft a bit more. It's much easier to play. They got them big AoE ultimates. It's very easy to win fights. They're not exactly the best in taking objective. Neither Void, Spectre, or Timbersaw is great at pushing towers. And the downside of this team is that their team fight ultimate cooldowns are quite long. So there is that too. Fnatic has a squad that's actually very good at every stage of the game. Good at laning. Wait. I need to turn on advanced options. Smooth drag. There we go. I was like, why is this not working? All right, let's quickly introduce the item choices. Tinker gonna be going mid, pretty standard. Ohio on the off lane, double stout shield on the 2 melee. Strength Heroes got a dust pickup for the bounty hunter, and of course you got Windlace on the Elder Titan. Pretty standard stuff on the Radiant side. Mio back on the Diard. Pretty standard stuff as well. We do see Qo going in the mid lane with a Quelling Blade. Quelling Blade on Timbersaw is not exactly the most common thing, although, I mean, he's going mid, he's farming, so it makes sense. Dubu getting the 2 Sentry Ward, standard stuff as well. Looks like he's actually given the 2 Sentry Ward, as he has 2 clarity for himself, being able to essentially Shadow Walk to his heart's content. The Shadow Walk mana cost increase from 50 to 65 essentially makes you Shadow Walk a lot less, like 2 fewer Shadow Walks, and needing a lot of clarity to make sure you have an easy time. I imagine he's going to spend a lot of his time on the mid lane. Ooh, looks like Magic Missile has already been chucked out here on Velo to prevent him from getting a bounty rune, which I think that's actually a pretty big win for Faceless Void. The thing about Vengeful Spirit is that she's actually a pretty weak support in the laning stage. Not exactly the best damage as for Harass. Very, very low base damage. And very low mana pool as well. Like 2 Magic Missile and you're done. And against Faceless Void, you want to be able to dish out a lot of right-click damage and not necessarily a lot of nuke damage, because you just time walk off any amount of nuke damage. And against Faceless Void as a support Venge, you generally just want to actually level up Vengeful Aura, and not the nuke. So that's happening up top here. Dubu getting out the briefcase with the right clicks here. So it looks like we have a Ascender Triley top for now against the 2 big melee strength cores, or strength heroes, not cores. Normally you actually scale out Stomp, but I don't think Elder Titan is going to be able to get kills too easily. And against a Trilane, Having the Spirit out is actually quite nicely. You could run it over 2-3 heroes, as well as the neutral, as well as the creep wave, and then you get like, you know, plus 40 damage, and able to you know, give out a lot of right clicks. Surprised to see Dubu not going mid just yet. He's out of tangles as well. This is actually a pretty big deal. Generally, when you're eating wards in the early stages of the game, having tangles to pop the sentry, insta-eat their sentry is a pretty big aspect of bounty play. And now that he's out of tangles is a little bit awkward, as he is gonna roam to the mid lane. Let's actually bring up the last hit chart. We got the Lifester essentially free farming, doing as good as you could ask for. Although Spectre not falling too far behind. Meanwhile, the mid lane Mushi, as expected, winning the lane, having the advantageous matchup. Although Kyo, I imagine, is not gonna fall too far behind. He already has the 2 points into reactive. I imagine he's gonna get 1 point in Timber Chain, and then the rest in Rolling Death for easier last hitting. You can see that Dubu is somewhat stranded on the map, not really sure what he's able to do. He's going to go for a pull here to get himself a little bit of extra EXP. Ooh, nice carry here by Demon to prevent that pull from happening through. But that goes back to my point earlier, where he's not going to be able to have an easier time to harass Velo. Velo, I imagine, is actually going to be the biggest winner in the laning stage of the game. He's able to actually freely CS by himself. The Bounty Hunter doesn't even need to be here. Although I think he's actually being here to sap a bit of experience. Nice block here by Dubu, preventing the stacking of the camp. So we got a pretty static laning stage overall. Both teams looking at CS. And if there's one team that really needs CS, it's the Radiant team. They're looking to get some big early game items like the BOT on the Tinker, the Armlet on the Lifestealer, and the early Blink on the Slaughterer. So they would really appreciate the early do-nothingness of this phase of the game. Meanwhile, MVP looking more so for levels than for the farm. Bounty Hunter wants to hit 6. Spectre wants both level and farm. Risen obviously wanting level 6. Ohio sprinting forward, going on Risen here. There's a stun, there's a bash coming in here from Ohio. Okay. Generally, you don't skill a bash. It doesn't matter, though. They're just coming in hot here. Risen looks like he's going to go down. One more right click is going to do it. They do get the kill. Meanwhile, Febby going for a counter kill. They traded 1-for-1. Febby getting the last hit there. I want to say that's actually MVP favored. Febby getting the return kill. The first blood is nice. But I expect this lane to actually get some kills. I expect the Slaughter Elder Titan lane to naturally get kills because they're so tanky. I don't expect them to die as a result, though. MVP gonna swing around. I'm not sure if Dubu is gonna find anything successful here. They're gonna keep trying. It's just so hard to do it, especially when they don't have a way to actually cancel that stomp. They're gonna Fatal Bond things up, and they're gonna start hitting the creeps to apply a little bit of damage. Don't think he's gonna die here. It's gonna be close. The Tango's gonna keep him alive. Fatal Bond. No. The truck already died. And that was the last Fatal Bond up unit. So it was actually pretty close. Surprised to see them to go for Fatal Bond instead of Upheaval. Although I guess Upheaval is gonna be hard to channel in lane, especially against Slaughter, who moves very quickly. And then they have 2 ways to cancel that channel with the Stomp as well as Stomp. I guess they both have Stomps. Slithering Crush and Echo Stomp. So I guess it makes sense that Upheaval is not leveled up. I think Upheaval is actually Warlock's best spell, although players have been really moving away from it. Oh, Kyo, interesting. 2 points in the Timber Chain. I'm not a Timber player myself, so this might be the standard build, especially in the mid lane. As you level Timber Chain, the chain gets a little bit longer, which I guess in the mid lane you need to have a longer chain to escape, which makes sense. Bottom lane, Velo getting somewhat initiated on. Salve gets cancelled. Okay, looks like he might die here. Yes, he does. Catching them without the time walk. Dubu's gonna just straight up TP out all the way to home. There was a death on Vengeful Spirit, and he does not want to hang around here to chance it. So pretty good stuff here by Raven having a very good early game, getting some kills, last hitting like a champ. But it's expected for him to do so. I think the bigger thing to me is that Velo is able to get a couple of last hits himself. 16 CS. Not exactly anything to like write home about, especially when you compare it to Slaughter, who has a first blood to his name and a lot of kills. He's going straight up to Risen as a heal went onto Febby. He's diving deep here. Second crush is going to come through. They are going to get the kill with the help of Mushi. Ohio tanking the tower a little bit here. And Ohio would not die this time. He does have 6/6 charges, so he should be fine as well. Nicely done here. The rotation coming in from Kyo. Ohio dropping low. Ooh, nice long chain's gonna get the kill here. Ayuk's gonna get off a clap, but looks like he should be dead as well. Chain, ooh, not gonna hit, but Chakram not gonna hit. The chain also is gonna miss. Ayu is gonna give the kill to Dubu. I'm sure they want to give it to Febby, but Dubu will pick it up, and that's gonna ramp him towards his arcane boots very nicely. So nice bit of rotation from the mid players from both sides. Again, I want to say that's MVP favored, as Febby involved in those kills, able to pick up a lot of assist gold. But Ohio though, pretty far ahead already. Ooh, crush right after the bash. Lucky bashes from Ohio. That 1 point of value bash really working out, and he does have the point of Orb of Venom as well. Normally, you don't see the Slaughter getting these kind of early type of aggression items because he's really played as a solo support. But in this game, he's got the constant rotation going his way. He's got the support in his lane. Demon has a war scoping out Risen. They're looking to sprint in. No, they want to dive in, but the TP out already successfully being done by Febby. Meanwhile, Dubu dropping some very early aggressive ward. Looks like we're going to see a a haunt coming in against Mushi. And easy kill being claimed up. As you imagine, Tinker, no mobility at this early given stage of the game. And then you got the haunt coming in. So, good stuff, good stuff. Meanwhile, MVP after that kill starts to pressure on the mid lane. Now, remember what I said earlier, this team does not push well at all. It's just simply right clicks, and not any strong right clicks at that. So, the way that MVP needs to really win this game is to get a ton of kills, and essentially chip damage away to victory. Mid lane, Mushi being gone on right now. He's going to drop a March of Machine. Teleportations are coming in, running away from the tree lines, trying to juke for what it's worth, but one more right click's going to get the job done, and his TP support's coming in a little bit too late. And Risen getting himself a bit of free farm up top here, ranking up that Fatal Bond. Fatal Bond has a lot of potential in this game, given the fact that you do have Chakram, as well as the Spectre, being able to dish out a lot of damage to a lot of different targets. I'm still a big fan of Upheaval though. Looks like he has opted to level up Shadow Ward. Mid lane, Chronosphere is going to hit onto 2, and well, mid lane is really being in a lot of trouble. Ayu's going to run away. They don't get anything done here, so nicely done. Mushi reinforcing the mid lane with a Marching Machine. But that is the concern for Fnatic right now, how to protect Mushi in this kind of mid stage of the game where they have so much more mobility on the side of MVP, being able to Timber Chain in, jump in with the Chronosphere, as well as Dubu just kind of invis his way in there as well. He's going to hit himself level 6, so that's another thing they have to worry about. Risen also getting near level 6. That is the concern. Let's actually switch over to net worth. 4,500 net worth lead. Well, not net worth lead, but 4,500 net worth on Raven. Farming as well as you could ask for. He's going to try to force out the jump on Velo. Velo is going to have to jump away. Magic Missile. Are they going to commit for it? TP is going to drive them away. It's going to be okay. Kyo coming in, focusing on Demon. Magic Missile is going to come through the jump 4 on Demon. Kyo is barely going to survive, but Raven dropping a ton of damage now. Kyo dropping extremely low. Timber Chain away across the ledge. Barely will survive that dive. They trade 1 for 1. They trade a core for support though. That's a trade that MVP will be happy to take. Taunt's gonna come in right now. Mushi trying to TP out. Do they have toss? Yes, they do, and Mushi will go down. Very aggressive play throughout the map. And that's the MVP that we know and love. Team that dives for the ton of kills. Looks like the max Timber Chain build is coming into effect here. Lowering that cooldown to 4 seconds, which was crucial. Actually, the cooldown is always at 4 seconds, but having a long Timber Chain was crucial in the escape. Actually saw that running away from the big bad dog. Alright, we do have the early armlet. I imagine the Deso build is going to be coming into effect after this. Armlet Deso, one of the highest damage dealing build, especially against the likes of Timbersaw. Against Timbersaw, the faster you could burst him down, the less he could rely on that reactive armor. So Deso, to me, is the best build in this game. Alright, smoke incoming here from Fnatic. Trying to squeeze in. Meanwhile, looks like a little bit of engagement up top here. Ohio getting chronoed up, and Ohio trying to get himself out of there. Okay, chaining forward. It looks like he should be fine. Sprint won't get himself out of there. They're still diving because this is MVP Phoenix. Crush is going to hit on one. And the TP support's coming in a little bit too late. Yep. Man, if you TP in late against MVP, you just die. That is what we've learned. MVP. Scope beyond the mid lane is Dobu. Dobu needs his arcane boots pretty badly. We'll start tracking a team as he's providing a little bit of vision for the rest of the team. We haven't seen the Warlock ult just yet, but we might see it very, very soon as Dobu rotating up top, joining the rest of his team to take some fights. Sentry wards already placed here by Fnatic to prepare for this engagement, prepare for the backstab of Dobu. Dobu seems to already be aware of this. Uh-oh, AU is going to take a lot of damage. Track's going to fly out. They got the rock. Are they going to drop the rock? Kyo taking a ton of damage. Kyo is going to be the dead. Rock's already dropped out here. They're going to focus on Demon. They do get Demon out as well. Raven going forward here. Velo dropping low. Velo is going to be dead as well. Wow, actually, that was a long infest cast range. And now with everything out of use, looks like Rizen's going to be dead as well. Not exactly too sure about this dive, especially with Kyo died. Oh, they're going to hunt right back in. They want Ohio. Looks like the dagger is going to get the kill on the slaughter. Okay. 3 for 2 is the trade. I think that was... You know, 3 for 2 says it's a Fnatic favor, but they got 3 track kills. Ooh. Oh, no. It was a 3 for 3. The Venge died and respawned so fast. Yeah, it's definitely now MVP favor because they got multiple track kills. And Febby, again, being able to get a kill without dying, swapping back in the mid lane. And Febby's going to drop down very fast. He's going to drop the dagger, give himself a little bit extra movement speed. And the slow coming from Dubu. The play's going to be there. Demon's dropping low. They got the Fatal Bond on everybody. And they're going to turn it around with that Max Shadow Word. The tankiness of Febby with the face boot, with the Magic Wand, with the Poor Man Shield. Being able to keep himself alive. Wow, that was a huge turnaround. Remember what I said about MVP. Very good at turning the tide of the fight on a dime. And that's exactly what we saw there. Normally they do it with some big AoE ultimate, like the Warlock ult, like the Chronosphere, but right there, just did it with the good old Shadow Word. I was going to point out that Febby did not go for Vanguard, which... Vanguard against all of these early game damage dealing. Oh my god, Q with the haste rune just murderized the other Titan. Comes in fast, comes in hot, gets a kill, walks back out. Oh man. If he could do a walking taunt, he probably would do it. I do believe the Timbersaw taunt is a standstill taunt. So probably not the best use of his haste rune. Speaking of running taunt, big fan of Undying's, what's it called? Funk of the Dead. That big zombie running and taunting as he goes. And in terms of the, hold that thought, Ohio coming in. Ohio's going to get ganked here. Ohio drops off a crush. Here comes Raven trying to get him out, but that Chronosphere good is going to get Ohio on the edge of the Chrono. And now Raven, the rage already run out, but the stomp is good though. The crush is going to come in as well. Velo jumping forward, not going to be afraid. Kyo, of course, never afraid. Oh, Demon's going to drop off a magic missile, swaps him back in, and Kyo making a Kyo play here. He was amped up at like a quarter HP, jumps forward, no fear whatsoever. Unfortunately, got punished pretty big. Can't really die with those plays here, especially with that Bloodstone. Losing these Bloodstone charges is not what he wants to do. But he is going to continue to keep on farming. Being as efficient as he can. Farming the enemy jungle. Despite that, Raven is farming extremely well, and he is leading in terms of the net worth chart. Let's also check out in the team net worth. It's going to be MVP that's leading. They are winning these fights. Febby has not died yet at all, 5-0 and 6, and that's a huge concern. We already see Relic being picked up. Unless we see Fnatic making multiple ganks at Febby right now, I'm going to see them having a really tough time. Yes, they could kill QO very easily, but I don't think they could kill QO and Febby. They're going to try to get a couple of kills on him. Demon ping, very much so. They see QO, they're going to try to burst him down, and yep, reactive armor does not have time to actually take in, especially versus Desolator and Rage. So, good stuff there by Raven. Continue boosting his net worth lead. Now, the problem with Lifestealer is that he's not exactly the best single core. The amplified damage is going to help out quite a bit, but Ohio dropping low. We're going to see the Haunt coming in. Febby's going to get the very easy kill. I say that though, not dead just yet. There you go. Spectre picks up yet another kill. Velo does have the time walk. Buyback coming out from Slaughter. Dubu dropping low, but they do pick up the... They pick up the Tinker kill as well. Now Raven dropping low. Dubu looks like he's going to die to Terror Febby. Oh, they want to turn it around. The Crush is going to be on 3. They're going to focus on Velo. And they want to focus on Febby. Okay, makes the buyback work. Then now they're tracing on Velo. Velo getting healed up as well. Kyo is still alive right now though. It's back and forth. They run. These are the fight that MVP really does well. Raven, ooh, nice swap back out here. Demon dropping wall. They're going to pick up Velo as well. And now Raven moving forward. 2 chomps. It looks like Risen's already dead. Nice buyback bomb from Ohio. Understanding that MVP is going to stay. Kyo's going to drive to the right side. He's amped up so they see him. Ooh, Crush. And he's going to be dead as well. A reverse team wipe here. Coming up from Fnatic off the buyback of Ohio. Sick player by Ohio. Turning the tide of the fight. They know that MVP will always chase. And honestly, that was MVP mistake. As soon as you hear the Slaughter buyback, you know that with Sprint and Blink, he could rejoin the fight so very quickly. And hindsight's 2020, but man, this is exactly what happens. And that was absolutely huge, killing everybody on the team, mitigating more Bloodstone charge gains. In fact, he's down to 4 Bloodstone charge, and also killing Febby right after he picked up the Relic. Despite of that, though, he's already up to 1,100 gold, so the Radiance is definitely going to be finished. Unless Febby makes a big mistake and joins the fight right now. He should just like ignore the team, and he is. Finish the Radiance. And once the Radiance finished, then, you know, even if he dies once or twice, essentially the damage has already been done, so. Despite that amazing fight that we just witnessed, I think Fnatic is still very much so in trouble. The gold graph now dipping back up, but I think we're going to see MVP hitting their second peak. Just, you know, right about now. The first peak is when Timbersaw finishes his Bloodstone. He has so much more damage and sustain in the fights. And they're going to see QO. QO road to 1 charge Bloodstone. It's going to get blown the hell up, but here it comes. Okay, here comes the Carol. Demon's dropping low. Risen, though, is going to go down. Febby's going to get 1 kill on Demon, not before he gets tracked up. Dubu's dropping low as well. Fnatic still very strong with Raven on front line. Getting yet another Blink Crush. Velo does have 1 more jump. He's going to jump to the right side. Still amped up, trying to TP out. Will he make it home? Yes, he will. The Crush not going to hit. And now Febby on the chase. He's amped up. He's got to be very careful. And then the fight's going to be 3v2. A couple of track kills here and there. Febby lives through yet another engagement. I'm going to say again, that's MVP favorite. Every time that MVP could win a fight with Febby surviving with a couple of track kills and they kill the Tinker, that's MVP favorite fight. Tinker going for the Blink, but I'm not even sure how good the Blink will be. Radiance is going to make his job very, very hard. And now it looks like we're going to see yet more Infest ganks. Infest cooling down for 5 seconds. And they're looking for QO. QO down to 2 charge on his Bloodstone. Does have the Playmail picked up. The Playmail very much so necessary just to keep him alive. Think he might want to pick up Shiva's. Or just straight up Playmail as well. Using Mushi as a bait. Okay, they see Kuro. They didn't want to make that deep tower dive though. They're diving into Chronosphere as well as Warlock ult. And you can see that Ohio somewhat afraid. Ping out that there may be a ward up there. There is a gem available on Slaughter, so. Okay, gonna pop the smoke. I think right under a timing out ward. Not sure. Ohio swings around. Looks like they're not gonna find anything right now. MVP, perhaps thanks to the vision of that dying ward, very aware of this smoke gang coming away. Dubu, you can see that going on the right side, expecting a wraparound gang, trying to break the smoke. Although if he breaks the smoke, he's gonna die very, very early. Ooh, the courier's gonna fly by as well. Are they gonna go for the courier kill? Slaughter smoke is broken. The Han, ooh, Han breaks the dagger initiation. In fact, they're gonna go for Demon. They see Demon very easily. Demon, track him up. Yeah, Demon's gonna be dead. Yep, Demon is gonna be dead. Ooh, Ohio re-engages. They want to focus on Dobu. Dobu's going to be dead. Warlock gets like run away. And now he's walking away with the Hellbear Smasher. It's going to get burned down to Mushi. Ooh, it's going to get chrono up. And Ohio's going to be trapped in that chrono as well. Not exactly sure about Ohio jumping back in. Velo dropping low, but Mushi's going to be dead. They actually killed Febby though. So far so good here from Fnatic. Raven going back in, focus on Velo, but he's actually just getting kited left and right. Upheaval and Chakra is dropping pretty low. He's going to be fine, but thinking about re-engaging against Raven. End of the fight, it's going to be a 3-for-2. They did kill Febby in exchange for Mushi. Mushi does have the blink finish as well. That was a pretty tense fight. I think that was Fnatic favor considering that they traded 3-for-2. Numerical advantage on the MVP side, but They also got Rock as well as the Chrono, so can't ask for more. I think they want to bait out Velo's jump. Oh, they want Demon coming in, but unable to follow up with the long range swap. Demon fairly poor actually. Doesn't have level 11 yet. Doesn't have that Aether lens that he wants so much. So that swap is going to be more and more ineffective as he's falling further and further behind. Demon coming around. Ooh, Demon is gonna get himself tracked up here, but Kyo perhaps a lot of trouble. Magic Missile used on Dobu, so they really can't follow up Raven. Ohio with Raven inside of him, looking for the Blink Crush. Also, did they lose that gem in that last fight? Didn't actually see who picked up the gem. This gem on the core or something? Gems in the base. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Did I say Fnatic favored? No, that was definitely MVP favored. That gem likely picked up for not too long. And the fact they lost it against a bounty hunter, that's a pretty big deal. Not that MVP is using it, but just the fact that Ohio doesn't have it anymore is it's a pretty big blow against Fnatic. Okay, they see Raven coming on the right side. Are they going to actually blow him up? They're going to focus on Demon first. Yep, Demon's going to be dead, so no more swap. And they're going to focus on Raven. Chronosphere should be very easy if they want to commit for it. Now they're going to just chase him down. That vision, that mobility. Meanwhile, they jump forward. They find Mushi with the Chronosphere. And Mushi's going to get run down as well. MVP Phoenix, the race car team, with the track, with the Chamber Chain, with the Time Walk, with the Blank, with the Haunt. Normally you see Haunt as a counter initiation tool, but man, MVP opening the fight with it, giving the entire team vision. And like the fact that they picked off Venge first. Venge is a hero that's going to save allies under the Chrono, under the Rock, you know. And he's also the easiest person to get picked off, so very nicely done that they picked off the Venge very quickly with Febby. And then they just went for more and more and more. So really nice targeting by MVP. And now they're going to go into the Roshan pit. They recognize that Fnatic, one thing that they are very good at is taking the Roshan. So MVP denying the Rosh is pretty nice. Go graph lead, 4,000. Not too much, but MVP looking to add a little bit more on top of that. Can they actually take the Rosh though? Oh no, Demon getting caught out here. not respecting QO's mobility. QO has a Yule Scepter. Very interesting. Oh, AU's going to hit a stomp on everybody. He goes in for the Roche. Can he actually get it? No, he can't. They just kill AU. They also kill Demon as well. Raven, though, back in the fight. He does have vision on Dobu. Looking for the kill. He is going to get the kill. Raven not doing as much damage as he once did. They're going to turn things around, going now on Febby. Febby does have the Aegis, I imagine. Yes, Aegis is going to get used immediately. Demon looking to kill Febby one more time. Magic and Missile is going to hit on Febby. Raven getting to work here, looking to 5-hit him. Febby trying to get up the cliff, not going to be able to do it. And Raven doing so much damage at this stage of the game with the Desolator, with the Echo Saber. My God. Well, this game is just a bloodbath on both sides. That team fight very much so in the favor of Fnatic. 4 kills to do if you count the Aegis kill as well. And Raven, he's 13-1. I thought Lifestealer is not going to be a strong single core, but with the back of the Venge minus armor, with the Ohio minus armor, no thank you. He is just like 5-shotting everybody. Given the fact that right now MVP is prioritizing on armor, that is super impressive. But the life of a QO is gonna be dead. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, gets the Yules off. One more hit. All right, he gets off the suicide here, and I do believe the suicide vision or the suicide animation gave away that there was somebody nearby. Dobu looking for the track and the cancel TP. Not gonna find anybody. So 13-1-5, and now has Basher available. So even these pesky, tanky heroes will not be able to run away from him. The problem with Lifestealer is that he gets kited, so he needs to have a very, very strong start like this to really have a chance in this game. Normally, I would be much more comfortable with Fnatic if, let's say, they have a Shadow Fiend mid, like another source of physical damage dealer. Tinker is supposed to be that, supposed to be another source of damage dealer, but he's, dying. He's 1-7. He is looking for that Aether Lens to keep himself far back. And then also, if he has Aghanims, then the team fight will go much, much better. But he's very far from that as well, so. I just don't know how Tinker's going to stay alive in this game. I really thought he needed a defensive 4-staff. I mean, generally that's not an item you want to go on Tinker, I understand that point. But with Haunt, I just don't know how he's going to stay alive with Haunt and Jump Chrono. One thing that Fnatic can play towards too is the high ground. Again, MVP is not very good at pushing. In fact, they haven't even pushed any tier 2s down yet. Uh-oh, Mushi, is he seen? Yeah, he is. Haunt immediately going straight to Mushi. Mushi trying to run away, but there is no running whatsoever. They have multiple ways to cancel his TP. Blink Dagger nor Force Staff or anything will protect him. Stop inviting me. Thank you very much. I should have signed offline. Well, they trade tower for tower, which I think actually favors MVP, because MVP is the team that can't actually push. And the fact that they are pushing towers at all is good. Oh, stop. Gonna hit on QO. Okay, they're gonna jump in for QO. Just do a little bit of extra damage to him. Meanwhile, okay, they got a TP back. Raven hanging around. I like the fact that Venge hung around as well. To give him a swap away in case they chrono him. But meanwhile, chrono commit on the bottom side here. They need to get back very quickly or they'll lose racks. Keep in mind, MVP does not push very quickly. They're pinging him out, and Raven focusing on the tier 3 already. We do see QO porting in, but QO by himself can't really defend this, can he? Magic Missile on Demon. Okay, it looks like he is going to be able to defend this. Swapping back out, and now Demon suicides himself into the base to make sure that Raven TPs back out. But they traded Demon for a tier 3 tower. I gotta say, that's a big victory in my book for Fnatic. Pretty big mistake on the side of MVP. Oh, Febby now comes back in. Okay, Stomp protecting himself alive a little bit. Dubu now getting caught out. Dubu, bang, dead. Vanguard being purchased on the Lifestealer, going for that Abyssal Blade build up. Well, that play from MVP giving Fnatic a bit of opening. Now the Raxes are exposed. Keep in mind this guy has a Desolator, so, and an Echo Saber. So that Rax is exposed Rax, especially with the creep wave going in. I imagine Raven could take it in like 5 seconds. MVP, they had a pretty big lead. They still have a pretty big lead, but in terms of structure damage and everything, I gotta be very aware of the situation of the game. Ohio's still hunting. He's got himself the 4-staff to help his Tinker or not. Okay, Tinker warping dropped. Huh. Very interesting to see Spectre not going for a finished Manta. Okay, he does. He had a Vitality booster. Oh, hold on thought here. Kyo now getting focused. They're going to go for Demon and AU. Going for the 2 supports are the way to go. AU's trying to TP out. No way he makes it home. Demon's going to get picked off as well. And that will happen over and over again. Gem's going to get passed back to the side of the Radiant. Meanwhile, on the back line here, it's going to be Raven going to work. He wants to go to work. He gets back into Ohio, and Ohio, can he make it out? The Chronosphere is going to find him. And guess what? There's going to be a Lifestealer trapped inside as well. Oh no, a disaster here for Fnatic. And now Raven might give away his second death. He's going to try to fight himself out of there. He doesn't have Infest anymore, and he cannot Armlet Toggle his way out of there. Meanwhile, Tinker, the only person surviving. And yeah. If Lifestealer does not open up the fight with them getting like a bunch of kills, he has a lot of difficult ways sticking on targets. I'm very surprised to see Fnatic hanging around there, because I think the initial fight started with them focusing on the 2 supports, right? So ideally that should have gave enough time for the rest of Fnatic to run away. The fact that they hung around was, I'm not sure it was, thanks to QO canceling their TP with Yule Scepter and whatnot. Whatever the case is, hanging around was not the play. Yeah, armor item being straight up picked up here by all of MVP. They recognize that, the longer they can survive versus this Lifestealer, the better chance they have. Because who's actually dealing damage if you could kite the Lifestealer? Tinker isn't. Slaughter isn't. I think MVP has really figured it out. They're leading by 10 kills right now. The gold graph up to 7,500. And now with Manta Style being finished on Spectre. And so earlier I saw Yasha and Vid Booster. I thought he went Yasha and he's thinking about going to Heart. And I think finishing Manta makes more sense this game. Okay, they're going to focus on Velo. Velo is going to get... Alright. Unlucky though, that's a long respawn time. Well, I say long, 25-second more. Oh, Kyo jumping forward. Kyo's gonna get spotted. Kyo's gonna be dead as well. Okay. Alright, top lane's open right now. Fnatic could actually go for it, or they could hang around for Roche. I think you push mid into top here. And Fnatic thinking of the right thing, of the same thing here. They want to get that tier 2. Tier 2 is very low as well. And they could just go for the, let's say they expose range racks or something. No Chronosphere for 30 seconds. 30 seconds might not seem like a lot of time, but that's a lot of time for Raven, who is chomping down this tower for breakfast. Are they going to go for it? No, they're going to go for the Roche instead. Okay. That's fine. Do you give it to Mushi? Or do you give it to the Raven? Probably give it to Raven. Mushi's out of slot anyways, yeah. They need Raven to deal as much sustained damage as possible. And yep. Raven will pick up the Aegis. 2,700 gold in the bank as well. He's pretty much like slotted out. I think he's going to go for BOTs first. And then he's going to fill up the last slot. He still could go for things like Moonshard before he switches Armlet for another item. Maybe Daedalus. He needs to be able to burst people down as quickly as he can. Meanwhile, Mushi does have the Aghanims finished. So this is where he could deal a ton of damage. And I don't actually know how MVP could push high ground now if it's a 5v5. The only way MVP could win this game is through picks. Which honestly, that's how MVP always wins their games anyway, so it's pretty much a moot point. But you're not pushing up high ground against a 4-man blinding laser, or not a 4-man, like a whole team blinding laser, you know, 4 missiles, marching machine, that kind of stuff. Well, they still has the tools. They still have the tools to pick the Tinker. Although the thing is, it's very dangerous to do so, right? With Raven, you don't know where Raven is. For all you know, he could be hiding inside a Tinker. In fact, it's gonna be Fnatic looking to push. They got Raven with the Aegis, so not too afraid of anything. Kyo's gotta be... Demon looking for the swap. Oh, they see Velo. Mantis Style back up. The Han's gonna fly out here, and Demon now suddenly in a terrible position. Demon dropping low on the right side. Demon's gonna be dead. The clap keeping him alive a little bit. The Glimmer Cape, the TP out. Is he actually gonna make it home? Wow, Demon makes it out. But what about the rest of the team? Ao's gonna get picked here. And now Ohio, the Radiance is canceling his Blink Dagger. Okay, he turns it around. Drops an amp. Meanwhile, oh no! They caught out the Lifestealer on the back. Lifestealer getting caught off from the rest of the team. Okay, he's running from the creep. The creep. Okay, they're pinging out the creep. They're pinging out the creep. And they're chasing. They're chasing. The team needs to actually back up the Lifestealer. Or do you not back up the Lifestealer? This is what a tense moment right now. Nobody hit the creep. Turn off the Radiance. Yeah, Febby turns off the Radiance. Okay, that's not it. Oh, this is it. This is it. Raven needs to run. Raven pops a Rage. Needs to fight here. The rest of the team is coming in. Raven still running. Still running. They tracking him up. Slaughter comes back in. He gets off a crush. No, they lose Ohio. They lose Raven as well. And they're losing Mushi as well. The Yule Scepter gets him up in the air, and Mushi getting caught. Can he make it home? No, Dubu has to cancel. Not only do they lose Raven, they lose everybody else, and they see Demon as well. Demon jukes away from his base. Oh no, man. That was a big, big blunder. And guess what? That's how MVP pushed. They caught everybody out. Everybody's dead. And they got themselves Elder Titan. Elder Titan needs to clap. Okay, Tinker forced to buy back. He needs to buy back to defend the base. Febby moving, working on a tier 3. Yep. Okay. Good blind. That's good. They are slowing down this push, but they're not killing Febby. Febby has a heart, so extremely tanky. Extremely tanky. He needs to go back here and regen a bit. Blind. Still doing some work, and you can see Qo just biding space for the rest of his team right now. Now Velo's on the front line. They got Shadow Word as well to keep themselves alive in the front line. Febby. Okay, Crush coming through. They can focus on Qo. They need Raven in 9 seconds, but 9 seconds could be enough time for MVP. Okay, they're now gonna chase here. Slaughter moving forward. I mean, Slaughter could chase, but without Lifestealer inside of Slaughter, the Lifestealer doesn't actually have that much mobility. Well, they defended successfully with the buyback on the Tinker, but still a buyback on Tinker. Ooh, Blink Dagger on Lifestealer. I like this choice quite a bit. Remember, Lifestealer is going to get kited in the late game. He needs mobility. He needs ways to keep up with the team. So I imagine he's going to go BOTs next, Moonshard after that, and then Daedalus. So a lot of room for this Lifestealer to grow, but not too sure how he's going to grow. And you also got to keep in mind that MVP is 1 Tinker kill away from winning this game. Because without Tinker, I think they could actually just push. Especially given the fact that Febby is so farmed right now. Ooh, they also got Diffusal Blades up. Diffusal Blade will make Lifestealer's life extremely difficult. Okay, secure. Radiance canceling that blink though. Okay, they're gonna open things up on QO. QO dropping low. The rock's gonna come through right now, and also he reflected. Nicely done with the moon shard onto the sun on the life slayer on the backline. They're gonna focus on AU. QO's dropping very low. They're not gonna focus on AU. AU's gonna die to the Radiance anyways. Meanwhile, on the front line, looks like Febby going on Mushi. Mushi's gonna be able to complete a TP out of life slayer because he stunned himself. Oh no, Lotus Orb, nicely placed. I think that was done by Dobu. Dobu hiding in Viz, noticing that Kyo was getting initiated on, and now they turn it around. Febby probably should go to the bot lane. Yeah, they won the mid tier 2. And keep in mind that Mushi, again, he needs to hold the base by himself. Okay, nicely blind. Kyo's dropping pretty low. They find Ohio. Ohio's dropping very low as well. No force staff for him. Raven blinks forward, looking for the kill. Not going to be able to do so. And the entire Fnatic team is getting completely overran by MVP. MVP now going on the bot, exposed racks. Febby focusing on the range now, switches to the melee. Demon swaps Kyo back in. Can they kill Kyo at the very least? No. Defensive force staff is going to bring him out. They lose Dobu, but nobody cares about Dobu at this point. Nice blinding laser. Going to get 1 kill. They got the racks, and it's time for them to move out. Raven wants to blink forward. He finds Febby, gets a immediate bash. Okay, there is going to be the Abyssal Bash as well. They will get Febby, and they'll probably get Risen as well. But they got the racks, and that's all it's worth. Risen low ground. Can he make it out? No. Mushi with a blink. Raven with a blink. They catch a couple of stragglers on the way out, but they gotta get something done. Again, the top racks is exposed. Mushi teleporting in. Maybe they should have invested into Mushi. So he could get the train up there. Mushi pushing the wave with the Mush the Machine. Remember, do they have buyback? Okay, no buyback on the Spectre. And no rock. So there is a shot where to get the racks here. Raven moving on the high ground here. Kyo trying his best to actually defend. Rage already committed. And without Rage, Raven actually can't kill the buildings that quickly. They got Diffusal Blade as well to slow him down. Okay. Raven going forward. Hits the Rex once and has to blink out. I mean, Febby, no Febby for 28, but they just don't feel like they could push. They need a pick. Raven's still hanging around. This game is actually truly back and forth. MVP is so close to losing as well. Well, losing a Rex, not losing. But I think they bought themselves enough time. I don't think this is enough time for MVP to lose the Rex. And wow, Warlock has Aghanims. Alright, 2 Warlock ults. Now, I haven't seen the effects of Warlock that much this game, but honestly, just a single rock on the Rage Lifestealer is already enough. Just, you know, any bit of time that you could waste this Rage is good. Well, it looks like MVP dodged a very dangerous time where Febby did not have buyback. And he was there for a long time. I'd like to see Febby save for buyback. Because that's really, I think, the only way they lose. Velo checking out on the Roshan. Ooh, Febby finds himself in Illusion Rune. Pretty sick stuff. Okay, BKB on Tinker. Helps you against the Diffusal Blades and the Spectre. Man, even dropping the Sentry. Uh-oh, Haunt coming out here. Who is he focusing? Focusing on the Venge? I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Oh, Venge just ported home. Well, Haunt's down. The anti-Tinker wards. Drops a Sentry up there as well to scope out the enemy Tinker wards. Oh, Dobu in the trees. He's gonna cancel the smoke here, and they focus on the illusion because they thought it was real. The smoke was canceled. Chronosphere is gonna come down here. Raven gets Chrono up, and now the entire team gets Chrono up. Double Rock on top. Oh, Hal's gonna get blown up. Demon's gonna be dead as well. Ayo gonna get wiped out on the right side. Febby's gonna be fine. They're kiting Raven. They got Upheaval. They got Rock, and the Manta illusions coming through. Dobu not gonna die either. Great play by MVP. Dobu breaking out the smoke. And then they got a Void Illusion on the front line, making Fnatic think that that was a real Void because, well, the smoke broke. My God, that was a sick play by MVP. Sick team play by the two players. And I think that's actually it. Do they have buyback? No buyback on the Lifestealer. And MVP on the verge of knocking out Fnatic from the MPGL Season 8. MVP making this game happen off the back of a big Spectre. And Tinker will have to try what he can to defend the base. But you can see that both of these heroes are just moving forward, zoning the Tinker away from laser range. And the Rock's doing some work. I mean, Rock is doing a lot of work, but not enough work against Febby, who has heart at this point. And they got Shadow Word as well, so. Okay, Rockets. Kind of wearing them down a little bit, but they got themselves this full 2 sets of racks. Man, that team fight was absolutely sweet. I kind of just want to go back and watch that fight again, but how will Fnatic fight this? I think they got one more fight left in them. I mean, the best bet is to break up a fight against Spectre and kill him fast, but I don't know if they can. They got Chronosphere, they got 2 rocks. These 2 Lotus Orbs are also very good at protecting each other. Remember that one fight where Lotus Orb reflected an Abyssal Blade? Absolutely sick. Okay, Cheese gets picked up by Febby. Nope. Drops it for the heart. Ooh, Kyo. By himself, focusing on the Demon. Demon is dropping low. Okay, Magic Missile is gonna hit. Demons gets yielded up. Meanwhile, Febby going forward. Now focuses on Demon. Demon's dead. It seems like MVP every time just focuses on Demon. I mean, they recognize that without Demon, no swap. It makes the rest of the fight that much easier. Don't think Fnatic will be able to fight this at the tier 2. Although, MVP might not expect a fight at the tier 2. That's the thing. Thinking about it. Ooh, blinking away. Also, unfortunately for Fnatic, they're unable to really push out the waves a lot for Tinker. Tinker needs to start marching. You know, in all of these teamfight initiation happening through right now here, Chronosphere is going to find himself. Is that Raven in there? I think Raven is in there. Uh-oh, Raven taking a lot of damage down to about half HP. A quarter HP bouncing around from the force. It's going to focus on Febby, but Febby's got Aegis, so it's not going to be enough focusing now on Velo. Okay, they get a couple kills here. 3 dead immediately. Febby's back. It gets clapped up right now. Is there any bit of follow-up? Stomp's going to be there as well. But defensive force staff. Man, they did everything correct here. But Febby's still alive, and now they're on the chase, looking for Febby. Rockets coming through. They see Risen. Risen to be dead. Okay. Maybe a sign of hope here. Jumping forward, sees Febby. Febby's on the run. He gets bashed up right now. And Febby, despite having heart, manta, and everything, he's dropping low. He's going to dagger now. Run to the right side. He's Juke City over here. In fact, he can actually turn around and kill AU. He's looking for it. AU's dropping low. They track him up. The Hex is going to be there as well. Now he's on the run with Raven. He does have Diffusal Blade up to actually burn up. No. He does have no more charges of Diffusal Blade. Has Manta Style. And in fact, with the Manta Style, he's thinking about turning back in. Okay, now he needs to run. Febby down to about half HP. He has a heart, so okay, Juke's in the trees. He's fine. He's got the Manta looking for Ohio. And Dupu, all of the meanwhile, still hanging around, providing vision, providing multiple tracks here. And now it's going to be Kyo back in there with this respawn. Ohio dropping low. He's going to turn it around. QO still on the chase here. Sees Riven. Still chasing. These Chakram disc flying around left and right. And Febby with the heart region. They've kited long around. The base is sieged by all these creeps here. And now Febby goes back in with a finishing blow. MVP baited Fnatic from chasing the base, and now Mushi looking to defend the base. Magic Missile flying around thanks to that Lotus Orb, and Demon being chased into the fountain. Febby does not care. He sees Ohio, he kills him in the fountain as well. Now looks for Mushi. No, Febby gets Abyssal Blade up. He's dead, but he has buyback. He BLCs back in, and now with the throne fully exposed, GG is called. Whew. That game, that last juke around the top half of the map by Febby and Dubu was absolutely hilarious to watch. Boy, I hope you guys enjoy the cast. It's my first cast in a while, so if you guys have any constructive criticism, I would love to hear it. Next up in this tournament, Fnatic's out. MVP is going up against, I want to say we could double check right now. Well, you might be spoiled if we check it, but because we'll see what the final are. But up next is MPGL Season 8. We get Mineski versus MVP. So, yep, that's going to be coming up next. That's going to be a best of 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I will take any constructive criticism. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time.